My name is Patrick Valentine. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I play my games. Even talk about wrestling. Even talk about anime. I can't get no satisfaction. Hell yeah! Completing every game to 100%, even if it means it'll be very tough. Get to the end. I will push hard to reach the end, even if it may seem tough. Complete the game. It doesn't matter what I play, I will achieve victory. No, you will see my gaming prowess that'll take me to the end. Yes, it doesn't matter what I play, I will push my limits. You will see me reach to the very end. Yes, welcome to my channel. My gaming skills will take me to the end. Triple H should be ashamed of himself for the things that he has done with the women's division ever since he took over in 2022. Other than Rhea Ripley winning against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, it is very difficult for me to find a point where I genuinely felt like I actually legitimately loved and cared about the women's division, or even Triple H himself showing that he does in fact care about the women's division. Apparently, in 2022, Vince McMahon once planned to have Ronda Rousey eliminate every single woman in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match. Which, thank God, that did not happen. But, again, this is Triple H we're talking about. And before people said that Triple H didn't take over WWE in 2022, he did take over things in 2022. His first night in the position he is in right now was at SummerSlam 2022. And I haven't forgotten that. I still remember that to this day. Because people still try to find ways to defend Triple H by saying, oh, we will all like how he handles things in due time. Like, he's only been in charge since last year or whatever. No, he's been in charge since 2022. At the time, me and a few of my friends were actually glad and actually happy that Triple H was taking over the company at the time. Because we were genuinely excited that we're like, finally, Vince McMahon is leaving. Finally, Vince McMahon is buggering off. Because, man, we were just so darn sick of Vince McMahon and his booking. But little did I know that Triple H was probably just going to end up burying the women's division way more worse than Vince McMahon ever did. While some people may think Triple H has done a good job with the women's division, the women's division themselves don't seem to think so, because reports came out that the women's division are very upset. The women's locker room have been angry with how Triple H and the creative team have been handling the women's division as of late. So for people to say that Triple H is a great booker and everything he does is correct, that is entirely false. Triple H has never been a perfect booker. I've been trying to tell people this for years. You can praise him if you want. You can praise some of the things he does, but you do not have to praise everything he does. Because if you praise everything he does, then you're just a fanboy, an ass kisser. You're kissing up to him, and you would rather take the stuff that he is giving you over the garbage that Vince McMahon has given us. And while, yes, some of the things that Triple H has given me, I would rather take than some of the stuff that Vince has done, while Vince has done a lot of garbage shit, I still think Triple H is doing not a great service to the women's division. One of the biggest complaints I have about the women's division is lack of matches. Like, there were times he would have one women's match on a 3-hour program. Like, during the times where Raw was 1 hour, was 3 hours, he would have just one women's match on the show, and that's it. if we ever see the women again, it's just them in backstage segments. Like, that was shit. Like, you cannot defend that. You cannot defend that. That was bad. One of the other things that I haven't really been liking is the lack of, well, having the champions wrestle on a weekly basis. While Tiffany Stratton has been competing from time after time, Rhea Ripley has not. Now, that's not on Rhea Ripley. That's not her fault. That is definitely not Rhea Ripley's fault. I just think it's a definite problem with Triple H. That if Rhea Ripley was to wrestle someone like Natalya, or Zoe Stark, or Shayna Baszler, or literally Ivy Nile, or just literally anyone on the women's roster, people would just say, well, Rhea Ripley wins, LOL. They would just think, well, it's too obvious, Rhea is going to win. But honestly, I feel that way with Tiffany Stratton when I see her wrestle. I'm just like, well, why should I be excited about this match? I know Tiffany's going to win because she's the champion. And of course, the champion should be winning. Like, you don't want to make your champion look weak. But also, you don't want to have your champion look like there's someone that can't defend their title. There should be times Rhea Ripley should be defending her title. But again, this is not how Triple H sees it. Triple H does not see it that way. He thinks champions should not be defending their titles every week, and they should also not be wrestling every week. While I don't want Rhea to wrestle every single week, I do want Rhea to at least wrestle sometimes throughout the weeks. Yes, she's got a match with Io Sky coming up, but that will probably be the last time she will wrestle until WrestleMania, which is the biggest problem I have. Why can't Rhea just wrestle every now and then? Like, that's my biggest problem. Triple H loves to have his champions only wrestle when it's convenient for him to have them wrestle. One of the other problems I have is with the fact that Alexa Bliss has come back, and fans have been waiting to see her back for the first time in 2 years, and Triple H has done nothing with her. While yes, she had a match with Candice LeRae when she made her in-ring return, she hasn't done anything since. She qualified for the Elimination Chamber, but after that, just nothing. Backstage segment with Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, and then a video vignette. Like, why can't she wrestle Chelsea Green? Why can't she wrestle Piper Niven? Why can't she wrestle Zelina Vega? Why can't she wrestle Katana Chance or Kaden Carter? You know, like, what's the point in doing a transfer if you're just gonna have the same damn people on the show? Like, that's how I look at it, especially on the SmackDown side of things. Like, we see Bianca and Naomi every week. We still see Nia. We still see Candice. We still see Tiffy. Like, just let Tiffany focus on Charlotte, please. Like, I'm so sick of seeing Tiffany fighting Nia or Candice. I just wish they would just have her focus on Charlotte. That's the only person they should be having her focus on. And that is Charlotte. And then that way, you can have someone like Alexa Bliss wrestle a Candice LeRae, or even Zelina Vega wrestle Candice, or Nia Jax, you know? Like, you got so many other women on your roster, and you went through this whole transfer window, and you're basically booking the same women every week. How many women that have been transferred have been on TV? Sure, Zelina's been in backstage segments, but has she wrestled? No. In my opinion, they should really be focusing on other people instead of having the same people wrestle. Like, just have Bianca and Naomi just be on Raw while they're working with Liv and Raquel. Do Liv and Raquel need to be on SmackDown? No, they don't. If you want Naomi to work with Liv and Raquel, just have them appear on Raw. Just have them appear on Raw. They do not need to be appearing on both Raw and SmackDown. Like, you could literally make room for someone like Zelina Vega or Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, but instead, Triple H would rather book the same women every single show. Like, we don't see we don't see different people every now and then. Like, I may not like Natalya very much, but Natalya being on the show every now and then would be fine. I like to see Alba Fire compete on Raw every now and then, but no, every week it's the same people. It's the same people every single week, and I think that's my biggest problem with the women's division. They've created so many titles that it's so that the women's division is so thin that Triple H made the foolish mistake of releasing people like Tegan Nox and Indy Hartwell and Blair Davenport, where it could have been so much easier to use these people for these certain divisions, but instead you decided to release them just for no reason. You even created a pointless division that no one cares about, which is Speed. I don't know why they even bothered with that, but, they gotta get the money, I suppose. Because, hey, WWE have always been greedy assholes that only care about money. Triple H has always claimed he listens to his talent and he listens to the fans. I highly doubt there's ever been a time that I feel from my perspective he listens to the fans. People like to say the only woman he's put effort in is Rhea Ripley. People have said the only woman that WWE have put any effort into is Rhea Ripley, which is a load of bullshit. I think that is a load of bullshit because Nia Jax was the champion, Tiffany Stratton's now the current champion, and all that. For you to say the only woman they've put effort in is Rhea Ripley is to say that, Rhea Ripley is the only woman they genuinely book really well, but all the other women they book like shit. Nia Jax wasn't booked like shit. She was the women's champion for about 150 odd days. And Tiffany Stratton is another woman that I know WWE have pushed up very much similarly to Rhea Ripley. So to say Rhea Ripley is the only woman Triple H cares about is a bunch of bullcrap, because he clearly cares about Tiffany. If he didn't care about Tiffany, why would he have her win Money in the Bank and have her become the champion? Is it just to have her lose to Charlotte Flair and that's it? She's never going to be champion again after that? Then maybe I would see your point of view. But to say Rhea is the only woman that Triple H has put any effort into is a load of crap. He has barely put any effort into Rhea Ripley either, I think. I think he hasn't done a great job with Rhea Ripley either. Again, the one thing about Rhea Ripley is she's been ridiculed for barely ever defending her title. To say, seriously, if you're gonna say she's one of the women that Triple H puts a lot of effort into, wouldn't you, want to show that by having her defend her title on a monthly basis at most PLEs and show how dominant of a champion she's been, instead of just having her do nothing but just cut promos and be in segments throughout majority of her reign? While, yes, she did defend her title 9 times, which I did count how many times she defended her title, because many fans tried to claim she defended her title once or twice, which was a load of which is false. She defended her title 9 times, because I counted all of her title matches that she had. I counted every single title match she had, and she had a total of 9. While Liv Morgan, I think, had less. So Rhea Ripley still had more title defenses than Liv Morgan when Liv was the champion. But the point I'm trying to make is that Triple H does not book Rhea at every PLE. He does not have her defend her title at PLEs. For some reason, he randomly just had Rhea defend her title against Nia for no apparent reason. And then after that, they literally teased her and Io Sky, and now they're just having it happen on an episode of Raw. So, in my opinion, Rhea Ripley isn't even booked properly under Triple H. Not even Rhea Ripley is booked right under Triple H, because all the fans would rather do is talk about how bad of a champion she is, And if Triple H was, in fact, doing a good job with Rhea, the fans wouldn't be saying this about Rhea. Yes, the live audiences love Rhea Ripley, but for some stupid reason, the internet fans matter more than the live audience. The internet fans apparently matter more than what goes on actual TV. So I definitely feel Triple H has really fumbled the women's division, and he has done an absolute god-awful job with it. He's done an absolute god-awful job by having Chelsea Green be the first women's US champion. I really believe that should have gone to Michin or literally anybody else, like Blair Davenport. I would have even been okay with her. Or hell, I would have even been okay if it was Bayley that was the first champion. But the point I'm trying to make is that he's done a poor job even with the new women's mid-card belts. He's barely had Chelsea Green defend her title outside of having her wrestle Michin, because that's literally the only person he's had her wrestle since becoming the champion. Like, why not Zelina Vega? Why not Alexa Bliss? Like, there are literally other people on the roster. There are literally other people on the roster for her to wrestle against, but no, it has to be Michin. At least Lyra Valkyria is at least getting somebody. I mean, yeah, she's wrestling Dakota Kai again. That's literally the same problem that I just mentioned before with Chelsea Green, but the difference is, I actually like Dakota Kai, and I don't really like Chelsea Green all that much, so that's a big major difference. I'm not the biggest fan of Lyra Valkyria either, but at least I can appreciate Lyra Valkyria as an in-ring performer. I can actually sit here and say, well, hey, she's a good wrestler. At least I can say Lyra is a good wrestler, while I cannot say the same thing for Chelsea Green. She's literally not a good wrestler at all, and if you think she's a good wrestler, well, that's just your opinion. I think she's absolutely garbage. So, and also it's bad, and it's also bad that Triple H literally had the mid-card champions in Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Really? You couldn't have just had Bayley wrestle, like, frickin' Natalya? Couldn't just had her wrestle frickin' Natalya, or Zoe Stark, or Shayna Baszler in a qualifying match? And same thing with Naomi. You mean you couldn't have just had her wrestle frickin' Katana Chance or Zelina Vega? Like, why does it have to be Chelsea and Lyra? What did they do to deserve a chance to qualify for the Elimination Chamber? And I am shocked Triple H is not doing a last chance match. I literally have known WWE long enough that they would always do last chance matches to get people that lost into the chamber. So I'm definitely shocked that he didn't do one this year, which obviously annoyed a lot of Liv Morgan fans, which annoyed a lot of Io Sky fans that wanted to see Io get a second chance, because fans have been so used to seeing last chance matches. Because fans have been so used to seeing these last chance matches, the fact that they aren't doing them this year literally annoyed the fans. Especially if you're a fan of Io Sky. But even though I'm a fan of Io Sky, I wasn't throwing a temper tantrum about it, like on social media, like a lot of other people. While I was annoyed about it, it was just like, wow, I'm surprised they're not doing last chances. Because they always do them. They always do last chance matches. So it's surprising they didn't do that this year. And the fact that Triple H is so desperate for views that he's bringing back Trish Stratus just for a one-off appearance at the Elimination Chamber shows you how little he cares about the women's division. He's bringing back Trish Stratus, and I know she's a legend. I know she's a legend, but I just don't care. I just don't care about Trish. Like, look at the reaction she got on SmackDown today. She literally got no reaction. She literally got no reaction when she came out to save Tiffany Stratton. It just shows you that the fans don't care about Trish. It shows you that either the fans just don't care about Trish, or they're just tired of seeing her. Either way, it's a problem. Just constantly relying on legends just to pop a rating every now and then is no way to handle your booking for the women's division. I know Trish likes to come back every now and then just to have a few matches. which is fine if that's what she wants to do. I'm fine with her popping in every now and then just to have a few matches. But you literally had Nikki Bella come back and you're doing nothing with her. Like, Nikki Bella says she's eager to come back and wrestle, but you've done nothing with Nikki. Like, where are you going to put her? What brand are you going to have her on? Are you just waiting until Nikki Bella? Are you just going to wait until Brie Bella is okay to come back and wrestle? Like, you don't have to wait for Brie. Just let Nikki wrestle. Like, just give Nikki something to do. Like, you don't have to wait for Brie. Like, you don't have to wait for Brie. Just let Nikki do something. Just let Nikki do something for a bit, you know? Like, fans have been... Like, Nikki said she wants to come back and wrestle, and now you're doing nothing with her. Like, it's completely stupid to me. Like, yeah, again, I just ridiculed WWE for using Trish Stratus, and you people might be saying, well, I should be ridiculing them for using Nikki Bella. But you see, the difference is, at least I like Nikki Bella, okay? At least I actually do like Nikki Bella. And I do want to see her at least have one more run before she does legitimately retire. Trish Stratus has shown no signs of retirement. Like, how many times has this woman retired? Like, how many times has this woman said she's going to come back for one more match, only to keep coming back for more? Like, she literally said her match with Charlotte Flair several years ago was going to be her last match ever, and then she came back to have a feud with Becky Lynch. Like, this is why I don't take Trish Stratus seriously, because she keeps saying, oh, after this, I'm gonna retire. After this, I'm gonna retire. After this, I'm gonna retire. No, she keeps coming back for more and more and more and more and more. See, the difference is, Nikki Bella did retire, but she didn't want to retire. She wants to have one more run before she does legitimately retire. That's the difference here. That's the big difference. Trish is showing no signs of retirement. She clearly doesn't want to retire. Even though she keeps saying she will, she doesn't. So, overall, you're relying on legends. You're relying on legends just to pop a rating for the women's division, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of them just relying on women of the past just to get ratings. And yet the women's division is being booked so terribly, and you wonder why they're being booked so terribly. No one cares about Lyra and Chelsea as the mid-card champions because you're booking them so badly. You're barely giving any of the other women a chance to do anything. Nice they're giving Ivy Nile, some screen time, but, they looked like they were building her up to fight Lyra for the title, and then they just had Dakota Kai just straight up beat her. They had Ivy Nile eliminate Lyra from the Royal Rumble, having her make fun of Lyra for losing to Bayley. They were constantly teasing something with Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria, only to have Dakota Kai beat her. So much for that. So much for building up Ivy Nile to have a match with Lyra when you were just gonna give Dakota Kai the opportunity. And again, I love me some Dakota. And I like Ivy Nile too. I think Ivy Nile has potential. But do not do shit like that. Do not tease someone is gonna wrestle someone only to have that certain someone not wrestle the someone you've been teasing. That was one of the other things I do not like about the women's division. Why tease something's gonna happen, but then just do not do it anyway? There's so much wrong with the women's division, and I feel like not even Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade are gonna save that. Because I know people want to see Roxanne Perez called up to the main roster, but I'm telling you, Roxanne and Cora are both gonna suffer this exact same fate that we're seeing right now with all the other women. And this is why I do not trust Triple H when it comes to booking the women's division. While I've also criticized Shawn Michaels for his use of women's wrestling, at least he does actually put effort into using his women, and he gives them a lot of matches. There was even a time he had 4 women's matches on a 2-hour program. There were times he had 5 women's matches on a 2-hour program. There were times he had a lot of women being showcased, even if they were just in segments. He just literally did everything he could to focus on as many women as possible, while Triple H only focuses on the ones that he likes. But every now and then he will give another woman, like, maybe, like, rare television time, only to have them lose. So in my opinion, Triple H is not doing a great job with the women's division. He continuously pushes the exact same women all the damn time. And someone like Alexa Bliss, who's been back for the first time since 2 years, that he should be doing a whole lot better with her. He should be doing a whole lot better with her too. And it's a joke that he's done nothing with Zelina Vega and Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, despite moving them over to SmackDown in the transfer window. It's just no point if we're just going to see the same damn women all the time. So, after reading the report about the women being frustrated backstage about their booking and how Triple H has handled them, I can confidently say I do not blame them in the slightest.